Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Today's phrase is thorn in my side, and this refers to anything which is disturbing you or hurting you. Now, thorn is basically the small pin-like thing which is on the stem of some flowers. So if you go, for example, to try to pick up a rose from the garden, or a rose which is lying on the ground, you'll find that it has little sharp bits sticking out of it, and they could harm you. They can make your finger bleed, and they're called thorns, and you find them on many of our plants. The R is silent, and you know that the letter R is often silent towards the end of words like word, work, thorn. You can hear that the R is almost gone. Right, so that's what a thorn is. So a thorn in your side is something which is causing you pain. Now, just to give you a few examples, I could say, Derek is a thorn in my side. I'm trying to finish this project and he's calling me every 2 minutes for updates. My neighbor's barking dog is a thorn in my side. I haven't slept for weeks. My neighbor makes so much noise. She really is such a thorn in my side. My boss is a real thorn in my side this week. He just won't let me work. He keeps interrupting me. So it's usually something which is like a pain. And I suppose you could use it to describe pain as well. But if you have a pain in your head, like a headache, you're not really going to talk about a thorn in your side. So that would be a little bit strange. But I suppose you could say, my illness is like a thorn in my side. It never leaves me. Thorn in my side. Now, we use this a lot in different ways. I'm going to explain some stories now from our media, and you can hear how this phrase can be used. So one big story that's dominating our media today is the new smoking ban, which is coming into the UK. Now, they've managed to push this through Parliament. It's not law yet, but everyone is in agreement that they will accept it. Basically, this new law is going to make Britain smoke free. Even if it does eventually become law, no one really knows how it's going to be enforced. Let me explain, and I'm going to read the news story for you from this morning's headlines. It says, Britain is on course to ban smoking for future generations after a historic vote in the House of Commons. That's our parliament. It says the legislation, the new law, will mean that anyone who's now age 15 or younger will never be able to legally buy cigarettes. And Britain will gradually become smoke-free. And many people are against this, not because they want smoking to continue, but part of our democracy means that they must allow us to choose. They can't just tell us, that's it, no more smoking for you, thank you very much. And that's why this is rather controversial and is being talked about. Many MPs are against it, but it looks like it has passed its first hurdle in Parliament. Now, let's see what else people are saying about it. Well, some people are saying that it will be very difficult to manage, that we will get to a stage when you're 42 years of age and you will be able to buy them, but someone aged 41 won't. And what does that mean? We have to have some kind of certificate to prove our age, because remember, here in the UK, we don't have identity cards. Other members of our parliament, though, are saying, well, you can't just decide to take away someone's right to smoke. And if we allow this to happen, what comes next? The government tell us about the amount of sugar we can eat, or the government decide what's good and bad for us. To be honest, I think we're almost at that stage anyway, because the government already make choices for us, which we can't seem to make ourselves. So it's a dangerous kind of thing, but it seems to be the next logical step. So many people are saying that they don't like this. And I think this is going to be a real thorn in the side of smokers, because again, they're being demonized and they're told, oh, you should quit because it's a bad thing. Also, people are wondering why the government is only tackling smokers. If they're going to bring in laws like this, then, well, why not focus in on obesity as well? Why not make the law bigger? Why is it only smokers? The Prime Minister's been asked about this and other questions as well. And he said, well, it's going to work. New Zealand have already tried to bring this in. And of course, yes, New Zealand did try to bring this in, but New Zealand now have scrapped the idea, and that law is never going to be used. So even if this does become law, I don't think in a shop they're ever going to say, well, are you age 42 or are you age 41? It just seems crazy. And I shudder to think how much money is being spent on discussing these ideas and bringing this in, because I think if a child wants to smoke, or if anyone wants to smoke, they'll just buy cigarettes somewhere else in perhaps a way that's not legal. So the whole thing is just bizarre. Anyway, another thing which is going to be a thorn in the side of some people is the fact that in some parts of the UK now, our ambulance service is going to be disappearing. Now, it's not going to be disappearing completely, but it's not going to be available for everyone. Now, as you might know, the ambulance is that nice little truck which comes and collects you and takes you to the hospital if there's an emergency. It has a lovely blue light on the top, and it can whiz by traffic in order to get you to the hospital quicker. Our local hospitals are funded by our local governments. Our local governments no longer have too much money. So they've decided, or at least some of them have decided, that ambulances aren't really going to be available. If you call for an ambulance, you're going to be met with a virtual assistant. That person will be real, but they will decide whether you get an ambulance or not. You will still get an ambulance if you have a heart attack or if you're dying, but otherwise you'll have a call. And that call will be to guide you as to what you can do to help yourself. It'll be like a Zoom call or a Skype call. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but basically you'll get a call from a health advisor, some kind of assistant. Now, it's some kind of virtual assistant, but the person is going to be real, okay? But they'll be talking to you virtually. And they'll be guiding you and helping you and telling you what your options are and what you should do to stop the pain and what actions you should take next. Now, this is going to be rolled out or introduced all across the south of the UK. I'm very curious about this because I'm wondering about people who don't use smartphones. And of course, knowing many British people, some people are just going to say, oh, sorry, I don't use computers. Sorry, I don't have a smartphone, in order to get themselves into hospital quicker. So I don't know how this is going to work. And I also don't know how they're going to enforce it. But bearing in mind, when you do get to the hospital, you might have a wait of up to 24 hours. Perhaps this is best because many young people, well, they're not going to want to be taken to the hospital anyway. But I think, again, our government maybe haven't looked at this properly because if you really want to get to a hospital, you'll find a way to do it, even if it means driving yourself there or by lying on the phone that you don't have access to a computer. So I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but one thing is for sure, ambulances will be slowly disappearing unless you have a really, really serious illness. So that's going to be the thorn in the side of some people who need urgent medical care. And besides, when you're very sick and in a lot of pain, you don't have time to be thinking about virtual healthcare. You just want an ambulance. You want to see a face of someone that can help you. So that's another issue that's going to be the thorn in someone's side. Now, Thorn in My Side was also a big song in the 1980s by a band called Eurythmics. And we're going to go through some of the words, some of the lyrics of this song, just to demonstrate the meaning. It's a lovely song, by the way. If you get the chance to listen to it, please do. Okay, so it begins by saying, you gave me such a bad time. That means that I didn't enjoy my time with you. And then it says, tried to hurt me, but now I know. Thorn in my side, you know, that's all you ever were. A bundle of lies. You know, that's all that it was worth. Okay, that means the value. The worth of something is the value. You know, that's all that it was worth. That was the whole value, a bundle of lies. And then she tells us, I should have known better, but I trusted you at first. I should have known better, but I got what I deserved. And then this is a group called Eurythmics, and the singer is Annie Lennox, of course. She's very famous. And then Annie tells us, Thorn in my side, that's all you'll ever be. So don't think you know better, because that's what you mean to me. And then she has many other things to say, also that she wants to run away from this person. And then she says again, Thorn in my side, that's all you'll ever be. That's all you ever were. Thinking again about the first verse. So that's a lovely song from Eurythmics and Annie Lennox. Yeah, she was, or she is, I should say, Scottish, isn't she? Annie Lennox. Yeah, very nice singer, very powerful voice. Thorn in my side. And there we are. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Oh, by the way, thanks to all of you who sent me name greetings after yesterday's podcast. I've got one here from somebody called Monica. She doesn't say where she is, but she's saying, Happy Name Day, Teacher Joseph. And then she's asking, what's your favorite names? Well, Monica, I think my favorite boy's name is Michael, because I've met a lot of nice people with that name. Although that could change if I ever meet anyone that I don't like with that name. But generally, I get on very well with people called Michael and the variations of that name throughout the world. And my favorite female name is probably Catherine, because that was the name of my mother, not because of the royals, okay? Yeah, so those are my favorite names, I think, Michael and Catherine. And there we are. So that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this today. Take care. Bye.